Good day, dear friends, and welcome. Welcome to, I think, part one, or maybe part many of what I think will be a continuous celebration of a very, very important event. And I know this may sound, and let me just explain this. I know someone might say, this is the most preposterous overreach. And I know people are going to say this. I know people are going to say this. They're going to say this is some type of some laudatory apotheosis. This is some beatification. This is some elevation. This is some canonization. This is some overt, unctuous, overdone, love fest. And they're going to say whatever they want. I am telling you that in my career, in my life, there have been three people, three, who have been absolutely positively responsible for really changing what I think is the course of and the direction of I don't want to say YouTube. I don't know what the word is. Whatever it is that we're doing. What is this? Independent journalism or influencing? I don't know what you call this. But there have been about three people. The first was early. It's probably before YouTube, but when Alex Jones first came along, I can't say it enough. He introduced a lot of the stuff that we say now, that we are used to, that we say on a regular basis. He did it first, and he kind of primed the pump. It was far more legendary, far more brave, and far more because nobody had ever heard it before. A lot of the stuff you've heard, if you say Masonic or if you say New World Order or Illuminati or something along those lines, you have heard that before. It doesn't shock the conscience. Yeah, the conscience or the conscious. It doesn't. You've heard that before. He was critical. Next, Trump. The first iteration of Trump. The first Trump brought out people we've never seen before. Never. Didn't know they were Republican or conservative or anything. And he wasn't Republican or conservative. He was we didn't know who he was. And he was such a breath of fresh air, a bofa, as we say, that we loved him. He was just, wow. And loads of people came. This is before online platforming shelving became a problem. The third, Candace. Charlie, but Candace. It wasn't. Ask this question today. Ask this question. Answer this question. Would today's coverage, would there be such a proliferation? Would there be such a what's the word? Such an expanse of various folks, were it not for Candace? Yes or no? Tiger Man, welcome, new member. Tiger Man, thank you. Would it? Ask this question. Were it not for Candace, same events, same everything. September the 10th, everything is happening, all the other usuals, everybody else. Would it be today the same without her? And would everybody else enjoy the status? I don't want to go through the names, but the people who are now household names, who are absolutely legendary in terms of what our fellow colleagues. Would they be the same today? No. In music, in musical theories, when a band comes forward, when there is the first grunge, when there is the first when that weird kind of new agey Devo or Talking Heads or the Ramones or whatever you want to call, whatever the word is, whenever somebody comes along with that, the next thing that follows are not imitators, but people who appreciate the genre, who appreciate the move, and people who appreciate the, what am I trying to say? What do you want to call it? Who appreciate the style. Were it not for her, Candace made it possible for something to come along. And remember something, and this is the most difficult thing sometimes for us to do, and it goes to a lot of things. You don't always have to be able to identify why something happened. Like, why was Candace? Oh, I don't know. What is it about Candace? Well, I don't know. It's a lot of, well, what specifically? Well, there may not be anything specifically as to why. We don't know why. We don't know why. But it happened, and it started with her. I can take a lot of factors. I don't know if it's a reason. Number one, she made this fun. Let me say this again to you. There are some people, and I'm not going to mention any names, because God bless anybody who advances this particular version. But there are some people who are so dour. They think that this is it a murder investigation? Well, yeah, but Candace makes it fun. Now, I know that may sound seemingly incongruous. No, it's always fun. So at the end of the day, you never feel like, okay, let's see. Because sometimes people can say, and you don't understand, and they're going after him, and it's the Illuminati, and it's 33, and Cash McDowell. I say, okay. You know, this isn't fun. But it's informative. Yeah, but it's not fun. And if it's not fun, if I'm not enjoying this, why can't this be a concomitant, informative, and fun? And this. She's always going to smile. She always laughs. There's a lilt in her step, a kick in her step. There's a giggle. She's not dour, and she never tries to overwhelm you with her intelligence, because she's very smart. She doesn't overwhelm you with, well, I know more than you do. And this happens sometimes. And another thing, which is the most important, and listen to me very carefully, she is very parsimonious when it comes to meeting out. People were enjoying my Greta Thunberg last night. Bless your heart. But when people are meeting out theories and the like, they can get a little bit, you know. And we'll go over a few of them. I'm going to tell you a couple of things. And she's never said anything that I could say like, well, no, I don't really know about that. And by the way, while we're at it, let me say my special belief also for Brother Baron. What does NASA mean in Hebrew? I have no idea. But I'm sure, dear friend, what does NASA mean in Hebrew? I don't know. Please tell us. I'm sure there's a reason for that. But thank you. And like I said, let me throw in Brother Baron. I've never heard something where he says, and therefore this is no. He said, no. This is the thing. See, this is thinking like a lawyer. I'm presenting reasonable doubt. You come up with you. Okay. Start off with this premise. You don't have to explain what happened. You have to explain how their version of it didn't happen. The official story, the official narrative is that Tyler Robinson, on that day, climbed atop, I guess, that building that nobody can verify, took his grandpa's Mauser 98, 30-06 round, and put one right down center and caught Charlie here. And that was the reason for his dispatch. And he eventually secreted away. He fled the scene and turned himself in and confessed. That's their story. That's the official narrative. He did it. He fired it. He got away. By the way, here's a trick. Not a trick, but a technique. When you meet somebody who wants to advance that, tell them what their theory is, but make it sound like it's insane. And you probably think, don't get me wrong, you probably think, ma'am, Mr. whatever, that Tyler acted on his own, fired the shot, got down, left, went home, confessed to his parents and his girlfriend trans, and that's it. You probably think that, right? Shot, fired, modality, and that he confessed, right? Right? You think that. And they're going to say, yeah, that's what happened. Well, that's not what happened. What? Yeah. get back with me. Start off right off the bat by taking what they think. And you probably think that there's this thing called gravity, where if you jump off a desk, you're going to land on the ground. Yeah, I thought you'd say that. Why? Well, sometimes you make people wonder, like, well, what do I think? It's an old technique. So just say what they say, but make it sound like, right. Candace has never given us something where we thought, what? How many of you folks said when you first heard that Brigitte Macron was a dude, how many of you thought, oh, come on, for the love, oh, please. Then you thought, what was that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Well, come to think of it, maybe, I don't know. I did not know that. See? That's a persuasive argument where somebody says, let me start off with something, and then when I get done with you, you're going to say, there is a book by Berlinski, Galerter, and others that basically say that they make the case for, this is an aside, for intelligent design. Adam and Eve, God, blows the Darwinian thing away, blows it apart. And when I first heard this, I thought, oh, come on. Why? Because I was trained throughout my life to always say that that's crazy. Adam and Eve is stupid. Doesn't matter. It's dumb. It's crazy. It's Darwin. Everything's natural selection. Everything's the way it is. Everything the way it's stupid. Anybody who believes in natural and God and the Bible, you're crazy. You're stupid. Right? Is what right? So when I first heard this, I said, okay. And it's on Uncommon Knowledge, whatever, with Peter Robinson. Watch it. And they make the case, I'm giving you this as an analogy, that everything makes sense until the Cambrian era, where there was an explosion of development of I don't know what the word is, an explosion of everything you can imagine, an explosion. Okay. I mean, all of a sudden, these things pop up out of nowhere. And they explain that little incremental changes, the bill of a finch, plumage, ruffles, hair, color, that might work for incrementally. But they do not work. They do not make sense at this stage. Anyway, make a long story short. So I start off with the premise. I thought to myself, this is going to be crazy, but I listen to it, and they tell me something that makes me say, you know what? This is exceedingly logical. Exceedingly logical. That's what Candace did. Okay? Now, I'm telling you, to be able to do that, and she's back today, which is great. To be able to do that takes a talent that very few people have. And she did that. And then came this thing with Charlie, but she knew Charlie intimately. I don't mean that intimately, but I'm saying they were great friends. And I think put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised if she was Charlie's best friend, because Charlie didn't have any friends. Charlie lived among leeches, lepers, lechers, parasites, people who just wanted to take off of him and people who wanted to just suck all the energy and the talent and the money and everything from him. I really mean that. I mean that. I think it was one of the saddest things ever. Now, she's done some things which are so important. Thank you, by the way. I never forgot to say that to Strada. Muchísimas gracias. And of course, our new member there. And of course, D. Bless your heart. I never found out about that Hebrew thing. Now, she's also, let me tell you another thing about her, which is she's also absolutely, positively, 100%. She is just brave. Brave, for lack of a better word, she's brave. She takes on people and takes on things she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. Her beliefs, her thoughts regarding the war, regarding Zionism, regarding Israel, this is probably in today. It was not advised, not popular, not a good idea. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to go there. Most people in this country do not care, do not know a thing about Israel. Do not know it. Oh, they know in the back of their mind. But it's not this living and breathing thing. It consumes her. She knows in her heart, I am not going to let this thing go without saying something. And whether anybody agrees with me or listens or cares, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say this. Some will say, I think that's crazy. Well, you know what's funny about brave people? They're crazy. See, the reason that people are brave is they have to do something. They have to attempt to surmount. They attempt to bypass, to, what am I trying to say? To attack a theory, a sacred cow, something along those lines, which nobody wants to attack. This is what bravery is. Bravery is not taking the easy way. Bravery is not, and let me also tell you something. You do not ever have to agree with somebody to understand what they're doing is brave. Because most people do not do anything even approaching. She's making a fortune. Why does she want to go in harm's way? To place herself in harm's way. To attack a particular position, which none of her constituency are really clamoring for. I'm sorry. I don't think that. I think that in retrospect, there's a part maybe of Candace that says, do my people even know this? She doesn't care. This is what she believes in. She believes in this. She believes. I cannot tell you, and I'm not trying in any way, for me to compare myself to her or whatever, but I am telling you, in the course of my, whatever, this is my 39th year from conventional talk radio up till now, where I did some things which they thought was crazy. One was I was an advocate of the Second Amendment before anybody before. But I know it sounds crazy. Before it was cool, but it wasn't cool. NRA was crazy and all this. Nice to say lock and load. That was my thing. You know what? 9/11. Nobody wanted to hear that. In New York, people walking around. My God, it was heresy. It's like, don't you understand what's going on? Geoengineering, chemtrails, as you would call them. Name it. It's not. Well, to me, it's not bravery. I think for Candace, it's bravery because this is something that you have to say. You have to say. And I want to also tell you why she's so important, why it's so critical. I believe this is something which is I'm really going out on a limb here, but I'm going to say it. I think there are people that we know who are basically full of shit. There are a lot of people on TV, a lot of people, and we say, you know what? This is where the performance kicks in, and this is where the truth stops. Yeah, they say this, but you know, I'm not sure of it. Well, yeah, I've never felt that way about her. I've never thought that she's saying something just to say it, or that she's no. I always believe her what she says when she says about her belief. She's finding Catholicism. I believe it. I believe that she's a great mom. I believe she's a loyal wife, and I believe that's her thing. And I think it gives her solace, and I think it's not an act. It's not an act. She didn't do this to perpetuate the act. She made her natural lifestyle, not the act, but this is the way she is, which is something which I think goes part and parcel, hand in hand with what Charlie is. Because let me explain something to you. What people want more than anything else, believe it or not, I know what I'm talking about, is authenticity. Just tell me what you believe. You could be wrong. You could be crazy. You could say, as long as you really believe it. Do you really believe this? Yes. Okay, fine. But don't ever let me catch you saying something that you didn't believe, that you thought you had to say because This is what everybody has to say. Don't ever let me catch that. Don't ever put me in the position where you're going to say something that I think. And let me tell you something. I swear to God, I have heard people, and I'm not going to mention, I've heard some of the most ridiculous theories on Charlie. They're almost, it's kind of silly, but they believe it. And that means something to me. It's okay to be wrong. Just tell me what you believe. Is that what you believe? Okay. I know people who believe in everything from reading tea leaves to phrenology to wind to astrology to whatever it is. And they believe it. They are 100%, they believe it. I'll take that. Okay. Just don't let me catch you saying something you don't believe because you think it'd be cool to say this. Or you think, hey, this would be great. I think I'm going to take this on. No. We saw this a lot of times during post-Rush Limbaugh, when everybody wanted to be Rush, when everybody thought they'd be conservative, when everybody thought they would be, no. Now, we are still right now in the mystery of a lot of things. And that's why Candace has been so terrific. And that's why I think she has been, I'm telling you, and I'm not saying this. I don't have to say this. There are very, very few people that I think really, in my mind, my life is different than yours. My stuff I think is important. But I say it, Alex Jones is the granddaddy of all of this. Nobody even came close to him. He was talking about New World Order and stuff when he was talking about Osama bin Laden before anybody. He's been on public access. He was so young. His voice, by the way, his voice concerns me very much. I don't know if he needs some kind of I'm sure he's had his throat looked at for polyps and that sort of thing. But before you would even recognize him, he weighs 80 pounds and he sounds like he's 10 years old. He's been saying the same thing. He's been authentic since day one. And sometimes he's like, well, he's lost favor with people because some people thought it wasn't cool anymore. It wasn't cool to be a fan of Alex. I've never thought that. Never. I don't think sometimes people handle things the right way, but it has nothing to do with my profound respect for them. And Trump. What Trump's doing now, I have no idea. And now watch with Trump. They're going to all come. They're going to start piling on with Trump. Now they're going to say, oh, he's crazy. He's over the hill. He's senile. It's like they come and they go and they come and they go. Whenever he's hot, they're in. Then they leave it. No, that man history will never, ever be able to explain what he did. Never. He won 3 times. Won 3 times. Fought off every lawsuit, every prosecution. Transformed, was the most bodacious and audacious. I mean, there was nobody. Maybe Andrew Jackson might have been in his style. Maybe Teddy Roosevelt, sort of. I don't know. Like him or not. And a lot of people don't. There is nobody like him. And Candace. And there are so many of you who've never watched, just these wonderful, wonderful comments about this. A lot of people who never. It's a wonderful, wonderful things here. And what I also love is, and unlike a lot of people, I love to see a lot of people sometimes who don't agree. As long as you're respectful, you understand what? And I'm never, as long as there's this sort of respect, that's all I ask for. I don't care about anything else. Say what you want. You can say, I think Candace is wrong. Fine. I don't care about that because sometimes I learn. In fact, there are many of you who are, I would say probably most, but many of you who have a deep commitment to Christianity, to Jesus, to faith, to whatever it is. And sometimes you will find out, interestingly enough, that you learn the most when people challenge you. People call you crazy. That's when you realize, wait a minute, there's nothing crazy about what I'm thinking. What do you mean crazy? What the hell do you mean crazy? What do you mean crazy? I'm not crazy in the least. There's nothing crazy about this. And then it makes you recognize or review what it is that brought you to the party in the first place. Why do you believe what you believe? It's so important. Challenge is important. And by the way, also sometimes there are people who go through periods of their own particular faith where they're challenged. They're wondering, they're questioning it. They're saying, is this, everybody does, everybody. I know priests who've been the people who've been spent their whole life in the clergy or whatever. It's part of it. You always have to reassess. Always reassess. Always reassess. Always. Ask your spouse, ask your significant other, ask whatever. Ask them, how do you know I love you? If somebody were to tell you, he doesn't love you, he's not faithful, what would you say? And why would you say it? First of all, nobody would ask that question. but it's a good question. Always question, why do I believe? How do you know what you know? And why do you believe what you believe? Knowing and believing are two different things. And I don't want to get through the fact versus truth or whatever. I don't know what it is. Faith is something where you say, well, you're going to have to take it because there is no, here it is. You wouldn't need faith if God said, how are you? Here I am. Okay, got it. What kind of faith is that? Gee, that's tough. Faith is a little different. It's a little different. It's like, it's there. It's in your heart. It's not in your eyes, on your head. Then you realize, sometimes head and heart and eyes or head rather and eyes, I should say, are really not as important as heart, is what's in your soul. That's faith. That's belief versus fact. And these always say, well, if it was true, you wouldn't need faith, you would need fact. They always say that to you, but that's okay. Faith is a mystery. Dan Tyminski, great song. Great song. And it is one of those things where I find absolutely fascinating. Since the beginning of time, man has always said, I am not believing necessarily the story of the obviousness. And that's what's critical about you and with Charlie. Now, I must say a couple of things right now, because people are sometimes, I want to warn you about this. And I want you to, and I'm sure you know this. Number one, do not ever lose your ability to critically think. Okay. There are people who do not know what this means. And I don't understand. I think they like new theories without ever asking, does this have anything to do with anything? Or is it just something kind of interesting? If a person uses what you believe to be a hand signal the day of Charlie's demise, does that mean that person is involved in anything? To some people, oh, absolutely. That was a clear-cut sign of a signal to either commence this process of elimination, literally, or whatever. That's critical to them. Critical. And I'm saying, do you put a lot of weight on that? Yes. Okay. During the 9/11 story, Larry Silverstein, who owned it all, including Building 7, said, pull it. Pull it. Never understood that. There's been enough loss of life. Pull it. Sounds pretty good to me. And there's never been this clear-cut answer of, did you detonate this thing? Now, to some people, they say, that's it. He did it. He's responsible. And the fact that he's Jewish, it was Israel. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. That's a good place to start, but I don't, that's it. Okay. I'm the last one to say, all right, I'll sign on this one. Not sure about that. That's okay. That's interesting. I want to tell you one thing. I want you to take every event that's ever occurred, and if you spend enough time on anything, you will point out things that happened that are so odd, so strange, that have nothing to do with what happened. But because you have focused on this long enough, you will see things that normally happen about a lot of things in life. A lot of things in life. A lot of it. Have you ever wondered about fate? Have you ever done this? How did we meet? Of all the people in the world, how was it that I met you? And how did we meet? I don't even live here. We don't even live here. How is it that we met? This must have been destined. It must have been in the clouds. How could this? Because randomness fascinates us. We don't understand this. How could this be? How could this be? I'm the only one who never questions about death. I question life. How did this happen? I look at babies, new babies, and say, how did this happen? I know how it happened, but I'm saying, this is the miracle. Death is, no, where do we go? I forgot, where do we go? Where was she? Where did this baby come from? It's like Stephen Hawking said, what happened before the Big Bang? He says, what's south of the South Pole? I don't know. And it gets really mysterious. I mean, really. And then you say to yourself, sometimes you look up to the heavens and you say, there's got to be something in this. Cannot be. This can't, because our own minds are limited. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at anything, why am I hurt? Why am I not? How did you? It's a miracle. How did he survive that? How did this, and this? Depending upon how you look at it, life is very, very mysterious or not. Let me give you an example. If I said, here's cards, deck of cards, pick 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 cards. Okay, look at those cards. Do you know what that is? You know what the odds of you getting those cards in that order? 1 out of 14 trillion. Whatever the numbers are. Isn't that amazing? What? You got those cards in that order on your first try. But those cards didn't mean anything to me. Yes, but still. See? We go through, we defy odds every day at levels we can't even understand, but they don't mean anything to us. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm going to talk about this later because we've got to ask a couple of things here. And I want you to really think about this, and I want you to know, I want you to learn. And when I tell you this, I don't want you to think that I'm acting like a big smart ass here, but I've been through this so many times. And we saw it with Epstein. We saw it with this. We saw it with a lot of people. Some people who are so new to this, it's almost like real time. It's like Murder, She Wrote, Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, OJ, kind of in real time. So it's your first rodeo. So you really don't know what to do. And this is what I think Candace is very, very good about. I want to talk about this later, but it's important that we bring this up to you. Number one, I want for you to dispel, or let's talk about this. And I think Candace, I don't know if she believes this, but maybe she said it. I don't know. And by the way, I believe she's back from her mysterious trip to Rome, where Nick Fuentes went to Rome, and everybody's in Rome. And what does that mean? Ooh. Anyway, I don't know. Okay. Question. Who honestly, truly believes, not suspects, not wonders, not considers, who truly believes that Charlie Kirk is alive somewhere else, that the whole thing was put on, manufactured, false, theatrical, to create the illusion before his followers, acolytes, minions, apostles, fans, devotees, to fool them, to end this, to create the illusion that he has been permanently and most persuasively expurgated, Baudelarized, ablated, emended, not amended, emended, excised, amputated from reality. Does anybody believe that? Does anybody think that he said that somewhere as we speak, Charlie is in some island, he's in Nepal, or he's in Penang, or he's in Dayton, and he's in a Holiday Inn Express, and he's growing a beard, which might be tough for him, but anyway, he's doing all this stuff, and he's going to live, this 6'4", 6'5" guy, who, by the way, I could spot his teeth in a heartbeat. His teeth, I could spot gum to teeth ratio, like Mad Dog Call, like Katie Couric. I'm a mouth person. You have fingerprints, ear prints. Give me your teeth. I'll spot your teeth in a heartbeat. You ever see Tom Cruise's teeth? See the incisor that splits it to his incisors over here. You think this guy's gonna do this? Do you think really seriously? Do you think? Well, somebody went like this. And there are folks who, and I'm not going to mention names, but there are people who honestly believe that somehow this was all staged. Do you know what that's like to pull that off? And Charlie's going to spend the rest of his life what? Living what? What? Why? Candace has never even suggested that. But I gotta address these things. When you come up with a there's a difference between a hypothesis and a theory. A theory is something that can be replicated, like the theory of relativity. You can test it. Hypothesis is kind of like a guess, and you hope it gets to a theory. The theory is replicatable. But anybody believe this? Seriously? Do you know what would have to be done? You got to ask yourself, well, how is this even possible? His children, Erica, everybody has to be, I guess, knowing it. The fraud that's involved, this man of God, this man who absolutely, positively, I think, exemplified and, for lack of a better word, just lived the very Christian ethos. And do you an ethic? Do you think that? There was a while back when they said that John Kennedy Jr. was alive. This was a while back. And I don't know where this came from. There was this one guy. Remember him? He looks just like him. It's like, I don't know if he looks like him anyway. He looks just like him. Okay. If that's what you think, it wasn't. So they got to probate the will. You got Carolyn Bessette. You got the sister Lauren. And where are they? And how would you do this? And this guy goes from being a Kennedy. He's got to live for the rest of his life walking around doing what? Doing menial work, or maybe getting paid. But it just they never go through they never take it through. It's like, okay, let's keep going with this. And they don't. They just say, here's something. It's almost like in some people's minds, let me come up with it. Here's something to do. Kash Patel said 33. They said the number 33. 33. This is a Masonic hit. This is big, 33, the years of Christ, whatever. And they'll say, and this, the Masons, the Freemasons, somehow were involved in this because Kash Patel said 33 and whatever. Well, what do you mean? I don't know. All I know is Kash Patel said this and it's 33, and that's what we're going to go with this. Well, what do you mean? I don't know. I just know that he said that, and we forget it. Here's another one. Now, I'm just saying, you can't just give me something. You can't just say something because you thought, well, here's an angle. No. It doesn't work like that. And what I think, going back to what Candace has done, she's always talked about evidence. Evidence. Remember, we're not asking faith. Remember, I don't expect you to have evidence necessarily of the existence of God for you to be a person of faith. I'm not asking you. I don't think you're required to do that. I think that because we already explained it. But I do think if you're going to convict or not convict, you got to have some kind of evidence or some kind of reasonable doubt or something. You just can't go on a hunch like, I don't know. He doesn't look like the type who, no, it doesn't work like that. This is where we are right now. And I'm telling you when I know this, I got to sit here and say, I don't know. I want you to imagine we are sitting and somebody's telling us a joke. And you're trying to guess the punchline, and we don't know yet. And right now, we're at the two guys walk into a bar with a duck. That's where we are. And you're trying to guess the punchline. What do you think? What are they going to do with the duck? I don't know yet. Let's wait. Could be the duck. I bet you maybe he's the duck. It's like, stop. Wait. Wait until they at least hear a little bit more. You don't have to come up with something now. It's a little early. We don't know anything. If I brought 100 prosecutors, defense lawyers, by the way, some really experienced, legal aid or public defenders, by the way, those guys are hardcore. They never get the credit they deserve. Public defenders don't get the credit. Some of the best I've ever seen. or public defenders. They're there every day. They are trial warriors. My God, they get the worst case of the worst of the worst of the worst. They're the best. Okay, they are the best. You know, in the old days when they would swing with 2, 3, 4 bats, remember, and then they drop the bats and swing with one. Well, they keep the 4 or 5 bats because they got these terrible clients. Nobody wants them. And if all of them were in a room, we say, what do we got to say? Well, what's the evidence? Do you have the medicals? No. What? Do you have the lab? No. No. Ballistics? No. What? No. Well, call me when you get them. No. Wait. I want you to see what you think about this. We don't know anything yet. Can I see a picture of the autopsy? No. You don't have the pictures yet? Show me this. Show me the wound. Show me the wound. Show me this. Show me. You look and say, nope. I can get more experts than you can imagine. Show me what the fragments are. Tell me the fragments that did you do an X-ray? Can you see? Are they broken up? Yeah. That's not a round. That's not a lead round. What are you talking about? We don't know that. Show me the picture. Show me what he looked like. Show me the lividity. Show me the face. Show me this. Show me. We don't have that yet. They would say, call me when you get it. Yeah, but you don't understand. We're doing a podcast and we have to opine. Well, you can't opine it. We don't know anything. Yeah, but they went and they tried to get this and the FBI said, no, then call me when they get them. No, you don't understand. I got to do a podcast. I can't tell people to wait. I gotta hear this now. Well, there's nothing you can say now. Well, I mean, come on. Just give me a theory. How about an exploding microphone or some kind of lob? Maybe. What did they find? Did they find any plastic in it? What would this look like? Do we have all of the evidence, all the eyewitnesses? Can I see the police report? No, nothing. Do we know everybody's testimony? No. Who are the people involved? And why were people grabbing SD chip? Okay, I want to talk to them. Did you talk to them? No. Remember, the Utah police are the ones who are going to be doing the initial investigation. Cash Patel didn't do this. I'm waiting. I can't tell you. I don't know. Doctor, yes, I think my daughter's pregnant. Okay. Did she do a pregnancy test? No. Where is she? Well, she's not here right now. But she's acting a little funny. She's been dating this guy. And we found an unused box of condoms in her. Wait a minute. Wait. Did you test her for pregnancy? No. Well, call me when you do. I can't. I got to do a podcast today. I don't have that information. So what do you think? She's 18. She did. Nowhere in life do we exist at this level where we're opining about stuff, but we don't know anything. It looks like it. Well, I think that maybe. And then somebody will come along. And again, I'm not trying to find fault with this. Somebody will say, here's something for you. They were making when somebody did this is a Sumerian reference. This is what the executioner would say, cutting the beard. This is what, wait a minute, stop. Where are you going with this? Well, you wanted to do the 33. I'm going to do this one. Can you give me the labs? We don't have labs. Then I can't help you with this. Come on, that's no fun. We can't do a podcast if we sit around and say, where are the labs? Where are the reports? Well, sorry. What do we know? I don't know. Now, do you want to talk about this from the viewpoint? And by the way, this goes back to what Candace was talking about. She's smart enough to realize this is what I've got. I'm kind of leading in this direction. All we know is, and I want you to understand this right now, I'm with you on this one. I ain't buying the story about Tyler. I ain't buying that story at all. Not in the least. Okay? Let's start with that. Okay, let's wait to see what happens. Okay? And by the way, and Candace did bring this up, she's very, very smart. If you were to not present the evidence that you are required, There's a case, Brady against Maryland. Everybody knows Brady material. Brady. Brady means you have to give all information that tends to exculpate, that is exculpatory, that tends to prove or assist your proof of non-guilt. Okay? That's exculpatory. It's wonderful. Not turning over evidence or not having evidence is not Brady per se. But then you can say, well, what about this? Sometimes I say, well, you know what? We used up the sample. What? Well, we had a tape of that, but somebody taped over it. What? That's spoliation. That's where you use something up or you destroy it. And that was evidence you needed. Well, we'd love to. I like to. Sometimes you can do an independent analysis of breath tests. If you're charged with DUI, you can have an independent analysis. But sometimes they will get rid of this. Saw a vid on CK's chair. All goes through the table. Saw a vid on CK's chair. Okay, great. So what we need to do is, thank you for that. Let's go and let's see what it does. If I say, excuse me, thank you for this. I got better. State your name for the record. Dr. Mumford Simowitz. And Dr. Simowitz, did you look at the body of an individual later identified to you as Charlie Kirk? Yes. Did you find any bullet fragments? No. Did you find any fragments of something? Yes, I did. Were they plastic in nature? No. They were a meteorite or something. Who knows? Yes, but I have a video of something. I don't care what the video says. What's in him is what counts. Yes, but you understand. I've got a video of a guy taking an SD card out. Okay. I didn't find the SD card in him. I found whatever. Driveway gravel, aquarium gravel. I found Tang. Loves 4-letter words, as do I. Oh, my word. I've been lurking your lives for years. First time chatter. You had me laughing so hard last night. It was epic. Thank you. You have no idea what that means to me to make someone laugh. Oh, we got Morris. Morris is a double new member. Morris is so good. Morris says, you know what? I'm not going to be a member once. I'm going to be twice. Thank you. This is funny. Let me explain this to you. Funny doesn't mean frivolous. Funny means we're pointing something out and it's absurd. And you laugh like, can you believe this shit? This is crazy. See? Oh, I want you to laugh. See, I want to do, if I defend Tyler, I'm going to say, now get this. See this guy? Lee Harvey Robinson over here. Look at him. Huh? He looks like a killer. Hey, Tyler, yeah. Where's the safety on this? Huh? Yeah, there you go. That's him. That's Carlos. Remember Carlos Hathcock, the most famed Marine sniper in Vietnam? That's him. Look at him. This guy, half-cocked, should be named. So Tyler decides, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. Now, he's walking around here, Mr. Cool, going to a Dairy Queen. Imagine what you've just done. Most people are like this. There are people who were there who just saw this. He did it. He did it. He's acting like nothing. This guy. And I can't wait to find out. Let me tell you something. If I got him in a room, and I'm his lawyer, and I'm going to say, now right off the bat, I'm only going to talk to you, and I'm only going to ask you questions. If your defense is going to be, I didn't do this. Now let me ask you a question. Should I continue talking to you? Yes. Why is that important? If he tells me, listen, I did this, great. I can't put you on the stand now because I'm suborning perjury. If I know you did it, I can't put you on the stand. Have you say I didn't do it. So before you say anything to me, I'm going to give you kind of like the reverse Miranda. You have the right to remain silent, and I would shut the fuck up, because if you did this, I cannot ask you a question. You understand that? And believe me, when you have a client who very rarely didn't do this, that's the first thing out of their mouth. What they normally do is, what does it look like? How am I doing? What do you think? What do I think? Is there an optician here in Europe that sells spectacles like yours? Yes. I would imagine there would be. Yes. Yes. And they are Anglo-American Optical. This is the Groucho. Anglo-American Optical since 1881 in London. I think in London. Go ahead and get them. Anglo-American. I'm just putting up. I'm not begging any money for them, but yes. I hate when, you know what? I got to tell you something. When people get older, they get these real big glasses. Do you ever notice that? It's like, what do you get these glasses for? No, I get smaller. I had some before. It used to be so thin. Looked like Devo almost. It's like, I don't want this. I don't. Anyway, so there you go with that. So anyway, so that's where we are with that. And we can talk about all this. We can talk about this stuff all you want. But there's no way. But stop this business about he's alive somewhere. It doesn't make any sense. Imagine you're Charlie. And I don't want to say this to anybody, but there are people out there who says, well, he did it. He's out there. Okay. Can you imagine Charlie say, hey, listen, folks, hey, good news. I'm not dead. What? Wait a minute. What? What? You made me cry like this? You broke my heart? Not only that, he's going to let Tyler do hard time? When you walk in and you say, by the way, here I am, because in a murder case, believe it or not, you got to have a murder. He would let this young man go to prison? Is that what you're saying? He would do, well, you don't understand. It's part of a, I mean, it's so preposterous that it doesn't make any sense. But it's how people love this. They love the whatever. Now, I want to say one more thing about, and I had to say this. I'm going to talk more about this later. Candace never goes into these words. Candace does not go into these. How do I say this? She doesn't go into these crazy. I don't know what the word is. These lunatic theories, unless she has a particular reason for it, and they're not lunatic at all. They're very, very smart. But there's going to be three people right now who are going to be three women. And by the way, the women right now are going to be them. And I mentioned this yesterday. It's going to be Candace, Erica, and Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer, just for comedic effect. Laura Loomer is, I don't want to say she's not crazy. She's not hearing voices or anything. But I do believe she has severe mental, kind of behavioral issues. Chelsea, whatever it says, as a non-American, this entire thing stinks to high heaven. And most of us don't believe the Fed slop. Love you, Lionel, from the Netherlands. God bless you. Oh, it stinks. Giselle Geyser, 2945. Listen, you hear what she said as a non-American? We need this sometimes. Love for that word says, I just have to send more. I would have spent more than $20 to see a live comedian, so I'm sending another $10 to you. My name is Jen. Jen! 8675. Is that Jen? Is that Jen? Isn't that Tommy Two-Tone? 8675. Anyway, thank you for that. Go. Two things. When people say, I'm not an American, good, I want to talk to you. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Because sometimes you need us to look at your world to say, does this make any sense to you? That's number one. Number two, again, the laughing part. The laughing part. It's absurd. You're pointing out the absurd part. We were doing things last night about Greta Thunberg. Look at the people we got. Greta Thunberg, Kash Patel. This guy, seriously, could you have made anybody bet? What? And then Erica, and Laura Loomer. Dear God, I don't want to talk about people's faces and what they look like, and it's like there's no. And sometimes I'll say, you know what? Because it always presupposes that we're all handsome and beautiful and everything. But I got to tell you something. I don't know what Laura Loomer's doing. And I don't know who these doctors are who say, yeah, I'll do some more on this. It's like, no, you think somebody will say, no, dear God, I'll try to reverse this. I'm not going to, no, add some more on. I don't understand. Moron is a pun there somewhere. You couldn't. Let me tell you something. This is always important. Let's say you're doing a movie. And you're doing a story that says, okay, I'm the director of a movie called Laura, the eyes of Laura Mars. This is the eyes of Laura Loomer. Or Loomer, or whatever it is. And I'm the director. I'm saying, okay, casting call. Here's what I want. First of all, I would go to makeup as I need this. I need this. What is it? That's what she looks like. Ooh. You need that? I need that. I guess we can do that. How would you describe it? I don't know, but it's kind of scary. Because what happens is there's kind of a dysmorphia that comes when people get things done. You've seen this, they get that Mar-a-Lago look. It's just weird. You see this. We never had that when we were kids. Remember when your mom never looked like that. Your friends' moms didn't look like that. They looked like moms. I thought they were very attractive. I think there was something very, very frankly attractive about a woman who's like, hey, what were they in their early 30s when we were kids? And they were just moms. And they were kind of like they were, moms. I thought that was great. There was Mrs. So-and-so. We were too young to say they were sexy, but they didn't have tramp stamps and tattoos and the lips like that. No. Something happened. It's dysmorphia. It changed the way our perception. Just like, But anyway, that's that. But then in order to capture Laura Loomer, forget the looks. You got to get the affect. It's this scary tone. She's scary. And she has this fake laughter. And then the prophet by President Trump, and he doesn't understand. There's this thing where it's like she's trying to say, see, I'm laughing. See, I'm laughing. See, I'm laughing. See, I'm laughing. I'm doing my laughing thing here. I'm doing my laughing. It's just absolutely bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre. And Erica, years ago, I'm saying, how the hell? We were on this stupid cruise like to nowhere. It was stupid. It was this, I hate cruises. Hate them. And it was out of, I don't know where we went. Make a long story short. Doesn't matter. And there was a woman there. And I said, well, let's go here. Because there was nothing to do. We didn't have cell phones or anything. So I'm watching this. They had bingo. I remember playing bingo. It's like bingo, clickety click, 66, 2 dogs. It's like, I was getting crazy. Come on, would you say it? Damn it. It was anything. But they had this talent show. And there was a woman, it's like an old woman, like somebody's grandmother. And she had, I swear to God, you know how little girls have tutus on and ballerina costumes? This old lady had them. She's walking around. And she's on the stage, and she was like running back and forth. And she would turn with her face, her back to the audience, and bend over. Not flashing anything, but like basically showing her ruffled ass, bending over, and then dancing. And this is what we heard. If anyone knows who this woman is, please uh, consult with somebody, a security at the front desk. It's on a cruise. If anyone knows who this woman is, please, we're asking you. And I'm saying, this is great. And they're going after her and she's running. Somebody's mother. She's on the ship. I'll never forget that. If anyone knows who this woman is, please report immediately. Help us find who this woman is. That's Erica Kirk. Whoever knows who this woman is, what is she doing? My dream, I always wanted to be, among other things, a psychiatrist. I've always wanted to hear confessions as a priest. I want to hear as a psychiatrist. And I would give anything to say, Erica, who are you? Who are you? Erica, what do people not know about you? Erica, what are you? What did you love this? Just in a room. Erica, are you best as to what you are or who you want to be? What do people not understand about you, Erica? What's the biggest misconceptions? What do you hate and love about being you? What are you? And you know what she would tell you ultimately? And Candace would probably know this. And I bet you anything, Candace would probably feel, in some respects, almost a sense of kind of pity, sort of, for this, maybe. I think they would say something like, she insinuated herself into this. We never went after her. I have no ill feelings about about Erica. I don't, I think most of us feel like that. We didn't know who she was. I didn't know who she was. And my first instinct is not to jump on some woman whose husband was, murdered. But we couldn't believe what we were seeing. Couldn't believe it. What did Candace and Erica talk about during that meeting? What was that meeting? What was the agreement? They really don't. If you think about it, Candace is not, her focus has not really been against Erica as much as others as well. What was that agreement? What did they say when they sat down? Was it kind of a, for lack of a better word, a gentleman's agreement? Did they say, okay, here's what don't say this, don't say that? I don't know. I don't understand that. What was that? What was that first meeting? I don't know if she can tell us, but I want to know what's the thing which is so interesting. What were the deals made, if anything? What did you want? What did you plan on saying? What did you believe in? What was your, how do I say this? What was your agreement when you sat down and said, okay, what are we going to do? Do I have a beef with you? What? I don't know. It seems like it's all these other people. TPUSA. Now, what I want to see happen is I always want there to be a realignment. I think the enemy is TPUSA. Those people. When I say the enemy, these are the people who are trying desperately to keep their thing going. I have never heard, when they have the Charlie Kirk show, this is the saddest thing. I don't know what this is. It looks like adolescent hour, troubled teens or something. I don't know what this is. But when they meet and when they talk and when they do their thing, they show a, I don't know what the word is. They show a They never talk about anything charitable, anything beneficial, anything to perpetuate whatever it is that they're supposed to do. They never talk about any of that. They never talk about. Remember, the original message of the mission of TPUSA was to extol the virtues of limited government and that kind of thing. Kind of a Mises, Hayek, von Mises, kind of a Mont Pelerin libertarian. That was really it. But they never talk about that. They talk about themselves and what are we going to do. I mean, this board, whoever's in charge of this, they must be thinking, we're not even paying attention to this. What are they doing? But Candace should reach out to Erica and say, we should team together. Because, young lady, they're trying to push you out. They're pushing you out. You are nothing to these people. They are, it, and I know it. They are planning every second of the day. How do we bounce this broad? Look at them. Do they ever talk to you? It's like they don't even recognize you. They don't do anything for you. Are you going to take that? What happens when they tell you they want you out of this? They don't think they need you. And they've, in essence, made you the way you are. Because believe it or not, Erica could change everything like that. Stop talking about herself. Stop crying. Do not cry anymore. If you cry, excuse yourself. If you feel like crying, excuse yourself. It's a joke. Nobody believes it anymore. When you pull out the handkerchief, it's almost like you're waving a flag in front of the bulls. Like, here we go. Here we go. The lacrimation. But don't do this. Don't do this anymore. No more. No mas. No mas. Dig. No mas. Capiche? Okay? You got that? I'm serious. But if they were to do this, honestly, because let me ask you a question. Do you think, when I say the enemy, do you really have a beef with Erica? See, I just think she's full of shit. But do you think she's what? You're gonna be shocked if I tell you that. I feel sorry for her. She doesn't have anything. She's trying. They're just letting her out. And TPUSA, those Colvitts and all those other people, they're just letting her, as we say terribly, is old expression, step on her dick. She's walking around. She's just going to fumble all over the place. They want her to fail. But what does she really do? What is it? Her life has been a fraud like everybody else. She has no idea what she wants to do. She has no one. She's just floundering out there. You can neutralize her by saying, you've got to understand something. Those are the enemy. Those are the enemy. What do you want? Do you want to run TPUSA? No. Do you want to be in charge of a board? No. Do you want to worry about merch sales? No. They just threw you out, and they threw you out knowing you're going to fail. They threw you out knowing so they can say, see, because they want you to fail, they want you to fall, and then they're going to turn around and go to their board and say, we got to get rid of it. We got to dump this broad. Got it? You know what would scare them? If all of a sudden, if Candace said, my beef is not with Erica. TPUSA. Those are the people. Those are the people. I'm not saying they're involved in anything, but they have been as suspicious and as weird, and they have been just absolutely, they are the piranhas circling the boat. Seriously, what does she want? What does she want? Every time she talks, she gets mocked. She gets mocked because she's stupid. But people don't have a sense of hate for her. It's pity. It's like, oh, please. She's like the old lady on the ship, because if anybody knows who this woman is, here she goes again. Did you see her? She shows up to this. Before she went to this event, she was like prom night. She was looking out the window. It was like, oh, for the love of God, please stop it. She wanted to be wowed. I don't know where she was sitting. She's at some table with these people. I don't know who she was with. She was like looking around like, anybody notice it's me? Nothing. Nothing. She's like this sad. It's like, Erica, what do you want? Maybe we can help you. Maybe we can work something out. Maybe. Do you just want to be a star? because you're not going to do it. You're not going to do this. And pretty soon now, JD Van, believe me, they're canceling they're canceling these events. And the other day when you pulled that nonsense at Georgia, when you were backstage and you canceled, that led to Texas, that led to this, and they're going to be pointing to you because those TPUSA people are going to be they're going to hold up, hang you out to dry. You're going to be the reason for that. I swear to you, you're going to think I'm nuts. But if Candace reached out and said, listen, I don't have a beef with you. Never. 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 I never had that. I never had that at all. Never. It wasn't until afterwards. I'm not the enemy. Why do you want to do it? Why? That's not the thing. Oh, my God. Do you know what that would do? You can say, listen, everybody, you think whatever. I mean, we know we're not going to be buddy-buddy. We're not going to hang out, or whatever the word is. But I think about you and your kids, and that's where you should be, frankly. And you can still do some wonderful things. But you know what? You got to form your own team. TPUSA is over with. Get away from that. Start something of your own. Truly start something of your own. You're going to be there. You're in this. These are jackals and weasels and these like ferrets. These people are like wild mink. They're just they're predators. They want you to fail drastically, monumentally. That's what they want you to do. I'm telling you. I don't think it isn't happening. Because the thing is, it would throw everything for because the best part is, remember, TPUSA, they're trying to go after Candace. And what are they doing? They're saying, look how mean Candace is to this one. And she goes, oh, no, excuse me. You got the wrong person there. I'm the one who reached out. You're being mean because you're setting her out. What exactly do you have in mind? Ask these weasels. Ask who these people are. What do you have in mind? What is your goal? Tell me. What? You never talk about this. What is, if you want people to keep giving you money, what are you going to do? Your campus outlook thing is just falling apart. Falling apart. And don't blame her for that. It's you. You want her to fail. You see what I'm saying is this is when it gets really Machiavellian. This is when it gets really good. This is what separates the men from the boys. Look at this. Some of this very, very, look at this. I like this. Somebody says, with Erica, it seems a level of immaturity or emotional adolescence that is shining through and everyone is noticing. Yes, that is absolutely, positively, 100% correct. Absolutely. Does anybody, am I missing the point here? Does anybody here really think that Erica is evil? Or she's been this, I will bet you anything, she's like the John Benet Ramsey. She's always living through her mother. Lori Franz, she's the one. Always, always, always. Now, she is supposedly the CEO. Does she really want to do that? Does she really want to do that? She should run from this thing. And if she runs, then what do they do? Think about what I'm saying. There are some people who still like her. There are some people who like Erica. Fine. If she removes herself from TPUSA, what do they have? What? Let Ben Shapiro come in. Let that weird guy, that kid, I don't even know his name. These people, I've never connected with any of them. What are they going to do? Without Erica, what does TPUSA have? Nothing. What do they do? What's their point? What do they... You think Andrew Colvett is it? Who gives a shit about it? Nobody. Let her on her own and work something different. And the thing is like, you know what, Erica, if you pay attention, first of all, you got to cut the cord with mommy and think for yourself. People have been telling you all your life, what do you really want to do? What do you want to do? You want to be famous? Okay, fine. You want to be famous, not the way this. Are you really a Christian? Are you a hardcore Christian? Because one thing about these people, don't hang around people who are people of faith, who know the Bible, and try to convince them that all of a sudden you're some Christian because you're saying, you don't even say Jesus half the time or anything. Just don't stay in your lane. If anything, you know what they love to hear? You want to be a better Christian. You're a sinner. You failed. Oh yeah, come on. They love that humility. Yes. But you trying to compete with them, you don't learn a couple of verses. No way. And don't Don't improvise when you're out there. Don't make up stories about, one time Charlie told me. No, Charlie didn't tell you anything. Stop telling you that. Charlie didn't tell you anything. Stop saying that. Charlie didn't tell you anything. Stop telling us that Charlie said something. He didn't say anything. It didn't happen that way. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? See, this gets really good. So we've got so many circles and circuses. One, we've got the trial coming up, which is incredible. Then we have the theories as to why and all that kind of jazz. Then we have the whole notion of Erica. And I'm telling you, if Candace, I swear to God, because Candace has got to realize Erica's not even in my league. What she's saying is, when somebody says, I don't have a beef with you, that means you're nothing. You're not even worth my time. But it sounds good. This woman's been through enough. Oh, I like that. Because people are, because that dispels the old she's a grieving widow thing. Okay, fine. But say, listen, this is enough. That's not my problem. And as a Christian, while she wants to forgive, I don't forgive. My beef is not with her. It's not with her. And what's a nice way of saying she's irrelevant. She's not important. She's not a part of this. Right? Right, Erica? I guess. And whatever. You just basically blasphemed her. You basically told her, oh my God. But it makes Candace look like she's because that's not her beef. Her beef is with TPUSA. Those are the people. Those are the ones. And what Candace wants to do, I know nobody wants to say this, is you want to run that TPUSA. You want that to dissolve. And if one thing the Franz and all these people know is about how to dissolve a corporation, they've been through more of these things. It's incredible. Candace looks like and Candace says, well, Candace has not business, but Erica's not even important. She just, you know what? Other people will do it. Let other people do it. The next time Erica speaks anywhere with her gold lame and this and that and blah, blah, screaming and yelling and the fireworks, you're going to be there. We're all going to be there saying, oh my God, she's doing it again. But you see, it's a different story right now. It's a different story. So let me just say this. I don't know how exactly to get to Candace. I forget these names. I call Charlie, Tyler, anyway. But this is her birthday. And I think that the best gift, what would you think? How do you give somebody who has everything? How do you do this? I don't know. But I think it's just for us to thank her, to provide this as an homage, as a tribute, as an encomium, a panegyric, a paean, that's a great word, P-A-E-A-N, a song of praise, because she is, I think, remember I told you this, in the pantheon of moments, rock and roll, Elvis, the Beatles, she is in this, because for what we do, she has brought people, and by the way, you know what else she did? She brought you to me and me to you and all of us together. Many of us may not necessarily agree 100%. Doesn't mean we disagree. It just means we may not share all of our political ideologies. But when it comes to this and what's going on, we are all on the same page. And I think that's what's critical. I really do. So my friends, happy birthday, Candace Owens. We are honoring a principled voice of courage, truth, and unwavering conviction. Principled. There is nothing in my mind more honorable than to say that you were principled, you're a person of conviction, you are a person of belief, and you stand for something. You're solid as a rock, as the song goes. You don't waver. You change your mind if the conditions change. Remember, John Maynard Keynes said, when the facts change, I change my opinion. You got to understand that sometimes doctors don't do bloodletting and leeches anymore because they realize that doesn't, the evidence doesn't indicate that anymore. And that's what we're talking about. So my friends, let us do this. Let's figure out a way to celebrate her. I believe she's going to be on today. I'll be listening. I'm going to be, I've got one more day of our travel, as it were. But I always wanted to make sure that we talk, because just if I go a day without talking to you, I don't know what the hell I'll do. I feel like this is weird. I don't feel good about this. People say, "What do you do? Do you talk? Do you do a show?" I was like, I don't have time to explain this damn thing. Have you ever had that? You ever try to explain this, whatever this is, to people? And they say, what are you talking about? Is it on TV? No, it's not on TV. What channel is it on? There's no channel. What is it? Well, it's like a TV show that goes on for like an hour plus, but you get to talk to the person and to other people. And huh? Where do I get that channel? Forget it. What's that called again? I get this all the time. You're thinking, you don't understand YouTube? Seriously? You really don't understand this. You don't understand it. All right, my friends. So thank you. Thank you. Candace, feliz cumpleaños. Para ti. Para ti. Feliz cumpleaños. And birthdays, I always dig birthdays, because they're or birthdays, as some people say, because that's your day, only yours. And there are other people who, of course, share that. In any event, I thank you. I wish you nothing, dear Candace, but the best on this day. We'll be back later on today. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us such glorious friends, some like-minded people. Thank you for allowing me the chance, again, to meet so many great people and to share. And thank you, by the way, for providing a platform which we can all kind of move and merge into and enjoy. And again, an investigation into this, but it's never, ever dour or dour, as they say. It's never, morose. It's never heavy. It's always lighthearted. It's fun. It's interesting. And that's critical. It's fun. I don't want to wear a hair shirt. I don't want to, like self-flagellate like that. This is ridiculous. She makes it interesting. So, young lady, this is for you, Candace. We love you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, as my Aunt Angie would say. Not Angie, Angie. Birthday, Earth. Don't get me going with that. All right, my friends, please do me a great and a glorious favor. If you could, please like this video. Please subscribe to our noble channel. Please hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And also, thank you so very much for following my beloved, who saved my life, Lynn Shaw from Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. She is doing probably the noblest of all causes, trying to fight child predation and keeping digital safety front and center regarding our miserable, parasitic lawmakers. All right? In any event, again, Candace, this is your day, young lady. We'll talk to you later. Celebrate her. Drop her a note if you can figure out how to. I don't know how to do it. Maybe just do it. All right, my friends, we love you. Have a great and glorious day. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Da.